Hello there.
Mr. Melton, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for the opportunity today.
Yeah, of course. Looked over your resume and it, looks like you're very well qualified for the job. Just have to see if you're going to be a good fit for New Belgium Brewing.
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and, why did you apply for this position?
Well, I'm a recent Cal Poly grad, so because I was just in school, I don't really have experience in the field yet, but I noticed during my time in school, marketing classes really stood out to me. I had a couple of professors that were pretty influential on me. I really thoroughly enjoyed the classes. The work seemed like it made sense. It felt intuitive to me. It seemed like something that I could really see myself getting invested in. I noticed that, this is like a pretty strong program in your company. I also noticed that your company has high values placed on environmentalism and giving back, and these are things that I value highly. So actually I was curious, is this something that you feel you experience in a day-to-day?
Yeah, I would say everybody here very much cares about being forward-thinking and progressive in terms of, conservation and making sure that we can do our part to put out quality product, but at the same time, we want to make sure we minimize our footprint.
That's good to hear.
So I'm glad to hear that's important to you as well.
Yes, definitely.
So, no, please go ahead.
I was just gonna say, also, I've heard a lot about the culture here is very open and honest, and I feel like this is a good place for me to grow in a good company that I feel like I can be a good part of.
Yeah, excellent. I like to think we're very open and everyone here is very accessible, and we pride ourselves on that.
Thank you.
All right. So that said, we're open and accessible and try to keep things, rather informal. But there is business that needs to be done.
Of course.
So could you tell me about a time that you have persuaded somebody?
So last year, I was a tutor at the Castroville Library Homework Center. We dealt with students from anywhere between about 5 through 14 years of age. There was one student in particular, his name was Marcus. He was a sweet kid, about, I think, 8 years old. And he was a social butterfly. He liked to talk, he got distracted by conversation and by his friends. But, you could see that because he was smart, he liked to get his work done. And so it was something that was important to him. One day I was assigned to help him, and, he wanted to get the work done, but I kept seeing his attention, so see a friend go by, see a friend go by. And so I decided, I was like, remember last time you didn't get your homework done and you were kind of upset? So I was thinking, if we get your homework done, that way you can go play with your friends until your parents get here. And also, I'll teach you how to make a piece of origami that I know how to make. And that way, you get to enjoy your friends, you don't have to think about your homework, and it's kind of a reward. And, he thought it over, and he decided, like, yeah, okay. And so we just kind of cracked down, and of course he got distracted another time or two, but he, focused. And finally, we finished. I taught him how to make the piece of origami. He had a big old smile. He went and taught his friends, and, it really just made his day.
That's awesome. It's great to hear that you not just value giving back, but you actually do it yourself. That's something that's important to us.
Of course, I feel like you gotta do the little things because they make a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. So how about a time where you were able to deal with a difficult situation or a difficult, conversation starter, and you were able to kind of probe your way into breaking that ice and actually establish some connection?
Well, I work at Trader Joe's, so, I spend most of my day talking to people, kind of seeing how they're feeling. We have lots of repeat customers, so you get to kind of build a rapport with people. And we had one woman in particular who was there pretty often. She was pretty sweet and, was pretty friendly with the crew. She made friends with lots of people. But one day I could just see something was off, and, I said my hello, and I kind of didn't get much of a response from her, so I could tell something was wrong. And so I went up to the management staff and I asked if I could, give her some flowers, because she's, a regular of ours, and I wanted to give her something nice and kind of, just a little gesture. And so I went up to her, I gave her the flowers, and I just let her know, if there's anything you need, don't hesitate to tell me. She grabbed the flowers, she looked at me for a second, and she just kind of unloaded. And, I just kind of stood there and listened intently and just let her go through it. And then I gave her a hug and I said, I hope the rest of your day goes well. And then I guess the next day I wasn't working, but she came in and brought a letter. So the following day when I did work, I came in and the letter just was a message about it was a big impact for her. She was having a hard day. She was having family troubles. Things were just going wrong at every turn. And just by me, kind of trying to, see how she was feeling and making that effort to like read her emotional cues and move forward, it really made a big difference for her.
Wow, that's really awesome. That's great to hear. Those small little things can really make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite awesome.
If a small gesture can make someone's day different, I feel like it's worth doing.
Very nice. Very nice. So, how about your organization? How do you go about laying out and prioritizing what needs to be done throughout the day, throughout the week, or even going after a month?
So, on a monthly scale, I like to sort of just have an idea of what's going on. I definitely know a rough plan of where I'm going, but I like to focus more of my energy and efforts on a daily or weekly basis. So in that end, to that end, I usually like to do to-do lists. I like to do the small like daily things, the small finite tasks on my phone because that's with me. Then like the weekly things, the bigger things that I might forget about, I like to put down on paper so that I can see it on a day-to-day basis. I like to kind of rank tasks based on how urgent they are, how important they are, so that way I can kind of get an idea of what all I need to get done, but also when I need to get it done and how important it is in the greater scheme. Like what can I prioritize and what can wait. And so I just try to, I'd say make lists and just keep them present because I don't like to forget. I like to be on top of things. So I just try to have constant reminders.
All right. Yeah, that seems logical enough to me.
Yeah.
So how about satisfaction? When do you feel like you're the most satisfied doing something? And to the contrary, when do you feel like you're the least satisfied in what you're doing?
So for me personally, I feel I get the most satisfaction over kind of being in the big picture position. I'm not as big of a fan of small, trivial tasks. I don't like to get caught up in the minutia of day to day. I don't like to feel as though I'm being micromanaged. I feel as though if I'm giving more autonomy and more respect and trust, I feel I can do a better job because I can focus my energy and efforts on getting to work and getting the job done than making sure that I'm constantly checking in or being watched. So for me, I'm most satisfied when I'm, buried in work and not really checked on all the time. I feel like I'm obviously on the reverse of that, least satisfied if I'm kind of have someone breathing down my neck and watching me and I have to do all these little mundane tasks. So for me, like being kind of like a overall big picture, like, or even if I have a mundane task, but like we can connect it to the big picture and the way it's presented is really important to me.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, obviously, anyone who's new to any business has to pay their dues before they really gain that level of autonomy on their own. But at the same time, of course, we want all of our new recruits to be future focused and not worried about, and not just content with being assigned a position and a task and sticking with it.
Yeah, I feel like I will do what needs to get done. I don't want to feel like the work is just explanatory. Like you're doing it because you have to do it. I like that next step where what's happening, like what change am I causing,
Yeah, very nice. Well, glad to know that you're more of a self-starter, self-motivated kind of guy who plans on growing the company. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.
You as well.
And we will be getting back to you with a decision here in the near future.
Awesome. Look forward to it. Thank you.
All right. It's a pleasure. Take care.
Have a good day.